What's going on, guys? Rob here, and just blog everything right here. Pretty much, I wanted to give shout out to everybody that's gotten in touch with me over the last 8-10 hours. Hammer time. Your car's ready. Glenn Perot, Michael Boughton, Dave Little, Amish Elvis, Bobby Catalano. Um, all your cars, folks, are ready, and they'll be at the line ready to go as soon as we start. What's up, Robbie? What's going on? And we will have them ready uh, for beginning of next week, probably Saturday night, maybe. Sunday morning's a high probability we'll be racing. And if not, then Monday for sure. But if I was guessing right now, I would probably say Saturday night's a good chance. It's a very good chance. But Sunday morning, I would say it's probably 80-90% chance we'll be getting a race on. And yeah, sure. Yeah, I'd love for you to get plugs all the way across the board. Anybody. Um, if you're still watching my videos right now, don't forget, if you don't have a car, we've picked up a couple, and shout out to Amish Elvis for and Glenn and Michael, uh, Hammer Time, all for kind of saying, heads up, Rob, heads up. We got things going on here. And we'd like to have our cars in. Um, I wanted to do that before I even thought about doing any baseball tonight. I don't know if I will or not. 17th game of baseball would be coming up. Red Sox with Rick Porcello. He's pitched pretty well so far. I haven't figured his record out yet. Tyler Skaggs for the Angels. But yeah, and can't wait for Tuesday night. Tuesday night, obviously, I will be on with ID Jester. And this weekend also, they're going to think about starting a baseball league. I don't know if they're going to do 7 games, how they're going to work that out. But that's on whose channel is that on, Robbie? The baseball. It's not Bleacher Bums. That's Anthony. This is someone else's channel having um, baseball demos. Yeah, April 1st. Okay, April 1st. That's on. Okay, that's on a Monday. That's on a Monday. Okay, so a week from Monday they'll start the baseball. Um, so by April Monday, by April Monday, by April 1st, April Fool's Day, we may have 6 races already in the books by then. Who knows? And I may have another 10 games right here going down. I finished all of my cutting. Let's check this out. This is all of my American League. How about that? I'm sorry, that's my National League. I got my American League in the Staples box itself. So I have got myself quite the collection there of cards. So we'll see what happens there before it's all said and done. Great interview earlier by now I'm freezing up. Can't remember who's who. Ron Juckett. Great interview with him with OG. I never talked to really OG for a length of time, and I watched that video, watched that interview, and I didn't know he was in the service and so in depth in the service. That's why he knows so much about those games. Sounds great. Sounds wonderful. So I am going to certainly think about getting a ball game going either tonight. I still could do one tonight. It's not too late. Or probably, I think most probable is tomorrow sometime. It's I am a little tired and a little older. So, but I wanted to make sure I got everybody out there that wanted to get a car, and we've got the cars. I've had most all of them sent back to me in the condition they want them. So Saturday, it looks like Saturday is going to be runoff day for me to get all the cars that I can. Yeah, yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Just tired. Just tired. Really hadn't done a whole hell of a lot today. I just for whatever reason, I just don't feel the greatest. But I mean, I feel good. I'm just tired. But don't forget now, it's almost 10:30 East Coast time. So you know, consider everything at hand. Uh, I've been watching sports tonight, and no major upsets. No major upsets in baseball in the basketball. Murray State beat Marquette. Florida beat Nevada. Um, nothing major went down. Murray State, a 12, beat Marquette by 19 points. So that was a pretty good ass whipping there. It was pretty good butt whipping. Auburn beat New Mexico State. Everybody's been talking about Auburn can be a national champion. They won by 1 point. They better tighten the hell up, or they're not going to go far. That's for sure. And yeah, games are still ongoing. That's right. Yeah, we got 4 games going on right now. Old Dominion, that's here in Virginia. That's out there close to Norfolk, down in that area. They're losing to Purdue 6-3. I got Syracuse. They're 8 seed. They're beating Baylor 27-25. Michigan, a 2 seed. They're kicking Montana's butt 27-13. And Wofford, that's everybody's sexy pick this year. Wofford, a number 7 pick, 34. Seton Hall 23. That's with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. So Wofford's really doing what everybody was hoping, and they're kicking some butt right now. Let's see what happens with it. My Duke Blue Devils play tomorrow, and I wanted to say in advance, a team is going to a number 1 seed may not make it out of this weekend. I think it's Virginia. Everybody loves Virginia this year. Wow, they got beat by Maryland, Baltimore County last year, a 16 seed. Now we got to feel bad for them. Feel bad for them all you want to. I still think they're going to lose. That's me. Gonzaga's too good. Carolina's good. Duke is good. I really think they're both. I think they're all 3 fine. A lot of people are saying, well, you start messing around with Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, I don't think is going to beat Duke on a neutral court. I don't think so. Yeah, I saw Tech play a few times this year, and I don't think they're going to beat Duke on a neutral court. But University of Virginia, still something about that. So I'm not. No. I don't think they're going to lose to a 16. I don't think they're going to lose tomorrow. But I think Sunday they could get beat. I really think Sunday they could get beat. We'll see. We'll see. But I've said all along, I think it's Duke's tournament to win. I think Duke is a class in the field. Duke has the best players on the court. Uh, Everybody I hear, well, they don't have the depth of the other teams. Well, you only have to play two games a weekend. These guys are 18, 19 years old. They're all freshmen in college. Duke has, other than a couple of guys that's upperclassmen that they don't let play very much. But most of them are all freshmen, 18, 19 years old. I can remember when I was 18, 19 years old, you could throw me on the basketball court and I could go 25 minutes. These guys are in a lot better shape than I was. So, yeah, Kansas did. They did play well, didn't they? Yeah. Kansas was upset. Yeah, they 34-point win. They were 7-point favorite. Yeah, and everybody liked Belmont too. Everybody liked Belmont, and me and my wife were leaving the house here. 5 minutes to go in the game. I think Belmont was up by 1. I said, no, Maryland's going to win this game, and they did. Maryland won by 2 points, but Michigan State had a hard game today. Bradley, with 4 minutes to go, Bradley was within a couple of points. You can't have games like that. You cannot be playing games like that all through this tournament. And that's why I say Auburn winning by 1 point today. Okay, well, they got by. Yes, they got by. But that's going to take something out of you when you have to chase your tail just to win, just to get by. And Sunday, I don't know who is Auburn playing Sunday. I don't have a bracket in front of me. Hold on, I do have a bracket in front of me right now. Hold on. I got a bracket right here in front of me. Let's see who uh and we may not know who they're playing yet. Auburn's playing Kansas. Game over. Game over. Auburn can go and get their ticket and go home. Kansas is going to beat them. I think Kansas will. I actually thought to begin this tournament, Auburn, when I saw them play in the SEC tournament, I thought, oh my gosh, they are going to wear some teams out. I liked Auburn. I like Purdue. I like any team with good size and a couple of guys can shoot the ball. Virginia Tech, I have nothing against. They can shoot the ball all day long. They just have nothing against Zion Williamson inside. I don't think Zion can put 40 points up on these guys. I think if he wanted to, that's my thinking anyway, and that's why I think they get through this weekend fine. But if Virginia wins, who does say they played? Ole Miss or Oklahoma? Well, all of the forecasters are saying Ole Miss is going to win. I have not seen Ole Miss play. I've seen Oklahoma play, and they can run. They always can run. So we'll see what happens there. But Oklahoma, they always have athletes, big time athletes. Virginia last year, I think personally, I think Virginia's team last year was better than this year's team. And they came in just as flat as they could be. And we were playing Charlotte, I think. And UMBC in the second half had the crowd going. And by the time the 5 minutes left to go in the game, and they were up, UMBC was up 15 points on number one. Everybody was cheering them. Everybody was cheering them except the UVA fans that were there. So, I don't think Gardner Webb will beat them. I don't think they will, but I'll tell you one thing. That's one you don't want to bet the house on. That's just the way I look at it. Villanova wins tonight by 4 points over St. Mary's, so that's another. Purdue, they're up 11-7 on ODU. ODU's a good team too. I've seen them play a couple times. They're not going to beat Purdue, I don't think. I think Purdue is a very good team. I saw Tennessee play when they lost a couple of times, and I was like, okay, but I've heard since then they've really got their act together. So we'll see what happens there. Carolina's Carolina. Don't discount those guys anytime. But and then Iowa State with the Big 12 tournament. All the rumblings are you do not want to play Iowa State right now. So we'll see what happens there. Wofford is still beating Seton Hall 38-30. 41 seconds to go in the first half. So some decent games today. Nothing to really write home about. Florida State beats Vermont. A lot of people said, "Well, Vermont's going to beat them." No, and is Murray State going to beat Florida State? Probably not. Then you got Florida State going to have to play Gonzaga. They've beaten them once, so the Zags. you know, they may not make. They'll make it through this weekend maybe if they can beat Syracuse tomorrow. I think Syracuse wins tonight. Syracuse's zone is always tough. They Boeheim is he's a good coach. Um, Michigan State wins. They beat the Bradley Braves. Louisville, I saw that game. They got beat. Minnesota, they were up by 20 sometimes in that game. LSU, what are they going to do without a coach? Their coach now is in some heavy, heavy stuff. And before it's over with, he may be even serving time. So who knows what's going to happen there? But Maryland's coming. Maryland's going to come, full guns a blazing against LSU. LSU is a better team, no doubt about it. But that should be good. LSU Maryland should be a good game because LSU is clearly the better team of the two. But when you start putting assistant coaches in, telling kids what to do, and the assistants are 23, 24 years old, they're like, really? You're going to tell us what to do? They get that in their heads. Don't forget back when you were a kid, any of you guys, when you were in high school, if your coaches had assistant coaches or whatever that were just a little bit older than we were, we didn't like to be told what to do. And that's what's going on with those guys. Liberty University, how about, they're from here in Virginia. They're going to play Mississippi State. I hadn't heard a lot about them this year, so probably they're going to get walked over and trampled on. But Virginia Tech, let's see what happens there against St. Louis. I just don't think St. Louis is nothing for those guys. I really don't. Okay, let's see what else. Texas Tech, NorCan. Let's see, Northern Kentucky. Really? I named Northern Kentucky, the north of Northern Kentucky. How about that? Yes, Texas Tech's Red Raiders. That doesn't sound like much of a. Let's see how many people are picking who. 88% of the people out there are picking Texas Tech to win. Let's see how many people are picking Duke to win tomorrow. If it's not 95%, something's wrong. I mean, they're favored by. Doesn't even say how much they're favored by. That's crazy. I mean, they 27. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 96%. At 93%. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's that low. Thought it would be higher than that even. And then Virginia. Is anybody off the Virginia bandwagon just because they got beat last year? Let's see. I think Virginia wins. 88%. There's still 12% of the people out there picking Gardner Webb. How about that? 3,000 picks here on Google for Gardner Webb. I don't think you have to worry about winning tomorrow, but then if they win, then game two, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. That's when you start playing big athletes. But Gardner Webb, I don't know enough about. I cannot give you. Let's see how much Virginia is even favored by. I know Duke was favored by 27. Let's see if they favored Duke. Virginia 23.5. They're playing down South Carolina. So Gardner Webb, I think, plays down that way. North Carolina, South Carolina. I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, I still, you asked me to write down on a piece of paper who's going to win it all. I still say Duke. I think Duke's the best team out there. They're the best team I've seen play out all year. I mean, Carolina's the number one seed. Every time I've seen them play Carolina, Zion was hurt once, and I just thought they were the better team most every time. Don't get me wrong, Carolina's a top 5 team all the way across the board. Those guys have probably the most talent, 10 players, 8 players, or whatever across the board, along with Kentucky. Kentucky's got a lot too. But, Gonzaga, they're good. Virginia is good. But I just think Virginia, when you're told on a daily basis, man, are you worried about losing to this number 16 seed? Are you worried about losing? Nobody's telling them, okay, if you make it through this weekend, how is it going to, how are you going to prepare for next week? They're not even doing that. They're already telling them, look, how does it feel to lose? How does it feel? And they're not getting that out of their head. And I just, it's hard for me to believe that Virginia is going to make it through the weekend when they have to play like that. And then most of their kids are kids too. I mean, 18, 19, they may have one or two juniors, but they don't have, most everybody there leaves early too, like any school now. But I'm hoping they change the rules and start letting high school kids go back and play in the NBA again, and then make anybody that wants to play college sign a letter of intent, and that where they have to stay there 4 years, and make it clear to them, okay, well, look, if you sign this, right, if you don't go through with it due to the fact you want to withdraw from school, you quit school, or you just leaving early for whatever reason, then you have to go back and pay that tuition. Make them do it. Make them do it. Why not? It's an education you get. Treat them like you would anybody else. It's the way I look at it. I don't know if they'll do it, but that would keep kids either in school or let them go play in the NBA at 18. Why not? The ones that don't get drafted, that's then make them set out a year or two, and then they can go play in college. Wait till they're 20. Hey, better them being employed at 18 than they are better them being hard up for in a soup kitchen at 40, 50. So, when they're 18, let them learn a life lesson. If you're not drafted by the NBA, nobody picks you. You got to wait a year, wait 2 years, whatever. Then go to a college you want to. Why not? Why not? I think that's good for them. Halftime now, Michigan 34, Montana 21. The butt whipping is on there. Baylor 38, Syracuse 36, 33 seconds to go in the first half of that game. Let's see what else is going on. It's got to be more than that going on. It is. Wofford 40, Seton Hall 30, halftime. Pretty good game there. Oh, well, Wofford's making a game anyway. Purdue 21, ODU, Old Dominion University, 16 with 6:35 left first half. So I still say Purdue wins that one. I think they will. But, I talked to friends, I've talked to friends online, and everybody's telling me Tennessee is a good team. Now, I must have called them when they lost their 2 or 3 games, and they were playing like crap. And they didn't show me anything. And I was just asking, how is Colgate? How is Colgate? People dismissed me and said, don't worry about Colgate. Tennessee can grab the other end of their bench and say, okay, you 5 play, and they're going to beat Colgate. So if they're that good, then Cincinnati, Iowa, especially playing in Columbus, Ohio, if Cincinnati gets by Iowa and Tennessee has to go up to Columbus, that's going to be a good ball game. That's going to be a real good ball game. Yeah, well, the thing is, schools are getting tired of one and dones, and the NBA, they saw Zion. Did you see Zion Williamson pretty much run through his shoe down at Duke about 3 weeks ago, a month ago? That right there woke up the NBA as much as anything. They've got to, number one, protect their athletes as much as possible. Number two, look at all the NBA teams right now that want this kid. I mean, you got the Lakers tanking trying to get him. They are. The Lakers, LA, they're not even trying with LeBron. They're trying to tank so they can get down there, get a lottery pick, and hope for Zion. And so you can darn well bet they want him in the NBA right now. They do not like seeing him playing in this tournament. There's no way they want him. So they're going to do what they can with the NCAA to make it to where these kids, when they leave college, can go straight to the NBA. Now, a lot of people say, well, the NCAA doesn't want that. Maybe they do, and I'll tell you why. Because, okay, well, Zion wouldn't been at Duke at all. Yeah, right. LeBron never played, Kobe never played in college. But there's an upheaval when you start the one and dones. Number one thing is there's so much more chance of being how do I want to say it? An unsavory coach. There's more chances of being, well, if you come to our program, we can hook you up. Let's just be for real about it. That's all at schools. They're all going to do that shit. But it's all about how they can hook up a player. Well, you make it clear to them. All right, you come to our school, you sign on the dotted line, you're going to stay 4 years. All right. The ones that's going to do that are the kids mid-level, okay? Mid-level kids. Right now coming out of high school, if you gave, let's say you opened it up where all the high school kids in the country could be drafted by the NBA, they would all go to a sports agent or a book and be like, okay, what are my odds of being drafted in the NBA? And there's not five high school kids right now to be drafted in the first round. Not even five. Not even five. There's one out of Indiana or Illinois. He's supposed to be great, and I think he's going to Duke. There's a kid out in California, supposed to be great, super wonderful. And I think he's going to Carolina. But I mean, come on, they would not lose that much talent by doing that. And if you could get them to sign on the line, be like, okay, you stay 4 years. Now, I think they need to go about it a different way and be like, okay, in the event of an injury, all right, and that's when you're going to have medical staff, and that's not college and not pro. There's going to have some kind of middle ground and say, look, this kid can leave school or do the old way they did 20 years ago and give them insurance policies for 20 million, 10 million, whatever. Let the school pay for that. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, Zion, we want you to stay here in college. There's a chance you could get hurt. So we're going to sign you up for a $20 million $20 million insurance policy. If you get hurt while you're playing here, okay, in practice, if you get hurt anywhere, then that we'll sign that policy out for you and give you your 20 million. Obviously, then you have to leave school. You can't stay in school, being that they've paid you. But hey, that there's ways for these kids to stay in school, keep college basketball, college sport. Football they have to play 3 years. Football they have to stay in 3 years now. So they're not even looking at you. They're not even thinking about drafting you now until you're 20, 21 years old. Let's see what these scores are all about here. Anything new? Anything new happening now? A couple of them at halftime. Baylor 38, Syracuse 37 at halftime. Oh yeah, saw that. How about the news of? Oh man, who did I hear got signed today? Oh damn, it's crazy. What baseball player got signed today? And I read it and I couldn't believe it. Let me look it up. Did anybody else got that news? What Major League Baseball player signed today? He actually re-signed with his team. Oh, Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt signed with the Cardinals. So that's what ID Jester's team. 5 years, 125. 5 years, 130. 26 mil a year. So he was making 11 million this year, something like that. So he's gonna be making 26 mil. Yep, 5 years. That's right. Look at all the free agent signings this year. I don't see it as bad. I really don't. I've got a list over there. Now I don't want to really give away too much what I'm going to be talking about Tuesday night, but Goldschmidt signing to me makes all the sense in the world for a Cardinals team that looks like they're going to be they're going to be a little better anyway. I see that Dallas Keuchel may be going to Sports Time Machine. What's up? Dallas Keuchel's talking seriously to the Padres now. So we'll see what happens there. That could be another big turn for the National League West. I mean, especially when you got Kershaw and they've got like 2 relievers that's going to start the season on the DL. The Dodgers are looking like an infirmary. And then just open it up for them, guys. And what are we going to do? We're going to let the Padres take Keuchel too. I'm surprised by that. I really am. I'm surprised that the Dodgers haven't jumped out there and said, guess what? Kershaw, our main lefty, is not starting the season. But guess what? We got Mr. Beard right here, and he's ready. I'm surprised. A week ago, I would have said, as soon as they said that Kershaw's not starting the season, that Keuchel should definitely be somebody. Because I'd heard from sources near and dear to me that Boston was in some heavy talks with Keuchel. And then I heard within the last 48 hours, he'd flown out to San Diego. And he is there. I mean, he is in San Diego talking to these folks. And we'll see. Weather means a lot, guys. Weather means so much. And, I mean, look at Machado. But he's been right here on the East Coast. It gets hot as hell. June, July, and August. It's hot. It is hot. And I mean, it's a steam bath in Baltimore. You're right there on the harbor. I can't blame him for leaving. And when you think about leaving, where you want to go? Well, Arizona. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't say, "Well, look, Arizona, open your wallets." Well, he asked them to, and they didn't. They didn't want him. Uh, LA admitted, yeah, Texas steam bath too. Yeah, you're right. Now it makes a difference if you play in a dome, but it doesn't make a difference if you play in Tampa in a toilet. I mean, if anybody's ever seen that dome, you couldn't wish that on your worst night. I mean, on your worst, not on your worst enemy, even to have to play there 81 times a year. So, you know, I think, now this is personally, I think Tampa's not going to be there 3 years from now. I think Tampa will not be a team. And then, uh, oh yeah, they need a new stadium, but ID Jester just told me that they went through with the vote and everything. They voted against it. So Tampa's not getting a new stadium. People voted it down. We don't want to pay more tax for that stadium. They want them out of there. I mean, look at what Florida's got going on in Tampa. Tampa's, you know, primarily retired folks. A lot of retired folks don't have the money, the extra money to go to a baseball game. Yeah, yeah, that's what I hear. I hear any place. I've heard where the Buccaneers play is 10 times better than where the Rays play. So then you start taking ownership into account. Ownership has to step up and be like, okay, now what the hell are we going to do? Are we going to really go out here and we're going to make this team a team? Because they've had money in the past. They've had money. They've spent money, and they've won it. But then when you start unloading all your talent, I mean, they're almost as bad. I mean, not quite as bad as the Marlins, but well, Oakland is, yeah. There's some other places that need new stadiums. Um, Washington. I mean, RFK Stadium has been there 100 years. Yeah, Oakland is a dump. Yeah, they say it's really bad. But RFK Stadium up in Washington, they should have been playing in a better stadium a while back. They've been playing in a football stadium there for a while, and then that whatever they call it up there in yeah, that's the wife. um, Wherever they call it up in or up in DC. I don't even know if they can still call it RFK or not. Barely saw her, yeah. First on the like button. Come on, you slackers. Dave Little, he's talking it up for me. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was showing all the guys here my National League setup, NPNG teams, and my American League. They're all in here. So thanks, Staples. Big shout out to Staples. They keep me enthralled in my baseball. So I'm all set there. I've got everything cut out, and I think I'll probably do a Boston at Angels game sometime tomorrow. And the base, Dave, did you see your car? Did you see your car? 45. Did you see it? Catch some people when they. Oh, okay, great. I think we have either 18 or 19. Wrigley Field. Well, Wrigley Field's a lot like Fenway Park. Um, Fenway is a place that I think if you asked half of Boston, they would rather have a new stadium. I think you ask half of Boston, and they love going there. I'm split on it. Um, I like the Monster, yes. I don't mind the Monster at all. But if they were going to do it, John Henry's got the funds. He owns Premier League team. He owns used to own part of a NASCAR team. He got rid of that. Um, and then he owns the Red Sox. He's a billionaire. Um, I'm a purist as much as anybody, but I tell you what, if somebody told me today that the Red Sox were going to open up or find what's up, Ken? We're talking about baseball right now, and Robbie just came up. Is the question is how much longer will Wrigley Field last? And I kind of turned it on him, and I said about Fenway, and I said I am a purist, yes, but if somebody told me tomorrow that Fenway they're going to no longer play at Fenway, I don't say tear it down, not yet anyway. But if they were no longer going to play at Fenway and going to set themselves with a stadium that'll hold 60,000, let's say 60,000, they need that much. They would sell out still. Right now, they hold, what, 40, 39, something like that? I don't have it right here in my hands. But I know Boston, I don't even think it holds 40,000 fans. Wrigley is starting to fall apart, though, right? I don't know. It looks. I mean, if you look at it on TV, it's really old looking. Now, this is me, and I know plenty of purists out there. I have always been against the ivy on the wall. I've never liked that. I think there's too many. Anytime you stick stuff like that out there, it's like that damn flagpole that used to be in the middle of Houston. I never liked that flagpole setting up on a hill in Houston. I thought that was the dumbest damn thing they could ever do. Yeah, make it out there where somebody can run right into a flagpole, right? Um, I just never liked the ivy. And then number two, you're going to have brick for a wall. This day and age, you got safer barriers for NASCAR drivers. But yet, still, you're going to have a brick wall for outfielder. Mike Trout just signed a $430 million deal. Let's bring Mike Trout into Fenway. Let's hit a ball over his head and make him go and run toward the fence for it. Or what do we do about that? I mean, do you think that? I mean, personally, I think that it's I don't like it anyway. You know, I just don't. I don't like a brick wall being there. That's just me. But you guys shout out. You tell me what you think. Um, if you let's say you were in charge of Major League Baseball right now. Okay, you want all these guys signing for 300, 400, 500 million dollars. Obviously you wanted as safe an environment as possible. All right, I got you, bud. I got you. I called it, and I was kind of watching it too. If I had to hold off anything, look, I realize um, Chicago. We're talking Wrigley Field. Now, this is just me. Okay, you get that ivy out of there. Okay, that brick wall during the off season, you find you some kind of way to find it, some type of padding, or you remove the brick wall entirely and you put yourself a fence there. If you're going to keep playing there, what do people say about that? Are you against it, or should we keep? See, personally, I watched too many games in the '80s and '90s where they would, especially before they really got going with replay, the ball was coming down, and then all of a sudden you'd see it. Oh, I think it barely touched Ivy. Then he caught it. Well, if it touched Ivy first, then that's just like hitting the ground first. I mean, it's just so many things, variables that the players already have to put up with that I'm against that. You see, and like I say, I'm a Red Sox pure, and I like to consider myself a purist at heart. I love going to a game, and I don't give a damn if it's lasts 4 hours. I don't care. If I'm going to a game, I'm not looking at my clock wondering, okay, what if are we going to get back in time to watch Shameless tonight? No, I don't care. If I'm going to a game, I'm going there to have fun, and I'm not worried about them having a clock behind home plate telling a pitcher he's got to throw the ball in 30 seconds. That's me. That's just me. Because I'm not going to take time out of my day and pay $80 for a seat that they're going to rush these guys to have to do it. And then on top of that, the most idiotic rule is that they want to make it where they have to pitch to three batters. I mean, to me, I always thought you had lefty, righty switch ups and stuff like that. Trout was a bad signing. He will end up being like an anchor in a sea of water, like the Albert Pujols contract ended up being, or Philly will eat some of that contract. She will get him later. I'm not going to go as far as to say Trout was a bad signing. It's not the best. I don't think it's the best free agent signing of the offseason. Definitely not. Just like I don't think Harper's was. I don't think neither one of them's a great signing. I think Machado's is the worst. And the reason I say I think Machado's is the worst, I think he's got the most attitude problem. I think he's a guy that if let's say he goes to San Diego and San Diego just goes 70-92 this year, I think he could be a guy that could cause you some serious problems in the clubhouse, everywhere else. Trout's uniform, not uniform, jersey. The reason maybe I agree with you to an extent, you want to try to make up some money on some of these guys when you sign them. And when the Phillies signed, Harper, they set a 48-hour record for selling the new jersey, the number 3. And when you can beat LeBron James in 48 hours, his 48-hour sales, Philly did that. The re-signing of Trout didn't do that because you already had him in LA. Number 2, he's not even your best seller. Mike Trout is not even the Angels' best seller. How about that one, guys? Can you guess which jersey for the Angels sells the best of all? It's not Mike Trout. And that kind of leads me to, Ohtani. You got it. Ohtani's in the top 10. Trout's not even in the top 10, guys. He's not even in the top 10 sales. So, but then again, he's not a problem child. He's not somebody that have to hold his hand everywhere. I don't know appearances and all this type of stuff, how much money the Angels can make with him, but I know they can probably make a ton with him. He stays out, like I say, stays out of trouble. That's number one. You gotta keep a guy that stays out of trouble. You'd like him in the limelight more. Being in LA, you would think, oh, well, but the problem is being in LA, their games start at 10:35 or 10:05 on the East Coast. That hurts. Harper strikes out 3 times in a game, and they will be saving up snowballs for that first summer day. um, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Harper's first year in Philly. How many home runs does he hit in 2019? Go for it, guys. How many home runs does Harper hit this year? Not just at home. I'm saying the whole season. Not just in Philadelphia, but on the road, 162 games. Okay. What do you think, Sports Time Machine? Harper. How many home runs does Harper hit this year? Okay. I got one more person here. If one more person would like to talk, go for it. I'm going to say 34. I'm going to say 34. Uh, I mean, he played 81 games in that damn. Uh, yeah, 40. I like 34. Um, um, 40 is plausible. Uh, I think he hits more than that. I think he hits more than that, Robbie, if he stays healthy. Uh, Dave, he hit 30 plus last year, and he played in the graveyard. I mean, he played. I mean, that field is a hell of a field. I mean, that's why pitchers want to play there because it takes a hell of a poke to hit them down at Washington. I've been to Phillies games a lot, and if I had to go with one of you guys, I would say closer to 40 than any of the other three. I'd be in between probably though, about 34, 35. Now, Trout. Trout in LA, with what he's got around him right now, how many home runs does he hit in 2019? Think of the lineup they got now out there. Think of the signings or lack thereof. How many home runs does Trout hit? Now let's be fair too. They play in a hell of a big field too. They play in a huge field. But let's just want home runs. Just want home runs right here. We'll ask maybe a batting average or something like that in a little while. What do you think, Dave? Home runs for Mike Trout 2019. Okay. Oh, there's no doubt. I know his numbers. His numbers are great. He gets walked a lot too. 30 to 35. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think Harper hits more home runs, or I think they're going to be neck and neck. Now, it's night and day. I mean, look at the players Philly has, and look at the players the Angels have. I mean, you pitch around Trout, you've got Pujols is, how old is he now? 39, 40, 41? I mean, come on. They have put nothing around him to help him out. Where Harper, he's got Rhys Hoskins. He's got Andrew McCutchen. Now, I realize Andrew McCutchen's getting older. Gene Segura. They got Real Muto. Maikel Franco. They've got some guys who can knock a ball out the park. And I just think they helped themselves in other ways before they got Harper. And I don't think they'd have probably ended up getting Harper without them signing those other players. Now, in the process, they got no pitching help. Zero pitching help. But, a player of his caliber, is looking for somebody that's going to help him bat. And I don't think you can pitch around Harper as much as you can pitch around Trout. Trout may get 150 walks this year. He may get walked 150 times. And that's not what baseball wants. You can better believe on that. But, if, oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think, look at some of the money that's been thrown out there. Did anybody see the Blake Snell signing today? How about that? Blake Snell re-signed with the Rays. Did anybody see the amount of money he's getting? You would cry. You would cry if you was his agent. You would have to cry. 5 years, 50 million. He was the Cy Young Award winner. Is it 5 years, 50 or 5 years 60? Something like that. I mean, he's getting between 10 and 12 million a year. And he's a Cy Young Award winner. So I don't know whether Tampa's done put something in their food and said, okay, here you go, guy. Sign this. Because he should have took that paper, ripped it up, and said, okay, double it and more, and then I'll sign it. But he went on and signed it for whatever reason. Now maybe he knows he's a little hurt or something like that. But some of these teams are getting guys to sign for nothing. The kid that just signed, Hicks, just signed for 70 million, 7 years in the Yankees. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but the thing is, the thing is, I don't even consider that affording all that. Why would you want to keep playing in that dump and be like, okay, I'll spend the next 5 years playing here? Do you really think they're going to go out here and go pick up any talent? They're not out here going after anybody. They're letting players go left and right. Snell wants to pitch, but geez, man, if you stay on the mound for them this year, it's a good chance you may go somewhere else. And trust me, you go to the Yankees, you go to the Cubs, you go to the Red Sox, you go to the Dodgers, you go to about 15 different teams. Yeah, it's okay, but Hicks can start the season on the DL. But if you realize that he is going to be making $10 million a year for the next 7 years, then okay, you don't have to worry about in 2 years from now having to sign this guy to $25 million a year. And then you look at the guy out here, Colorado. What the hell's his name? Third baseman, Arenado. Look at Arenado's numbers. They're crazy. They're crazy numbers. And I'm like, okay, personally, I think he's the best free agent of all. Well, he would have been. I think he's the best signing of all of them, of everybody. If I had my choice right now, if you gave me a paper and said, okay, here you go, Real Muto, Trout, include them all. I would rather have the kid Arenado for the money he's making. He's a deal. He's a wheel. He's a deal. And that personally, the Colorado GM, I couldn't even tell you his name. I got to look it up before Tuesday when I do my interview. But whoever did his deal for him ought to have been smacked upside the face too. As far as the agent, not the GM. The GM did a hell of a deal getting him signed. So I just think I wonder where some of these agents' heads are at, because I realize you're not all looking at Harper and Machado, but Machado would not have been even on my radar as somebody I wanted to sign at this offseason. I would not have even wanted to. And I think there's a lot of teams out there that didn't want him, but he got the money he wanted, so good for him. Like I said, I mentioned this earlier today. Congratulations to Ichiro Suzuki. Great career, Hall of Fame career, and it's over with. And he has now announced his retirement and says he's going to stay in Japan. He's not even. I don't think he's even coming back over here with the team. They signed him to that minor league deal and brought him up for 2 games and let him play. And now, it was a nice gesture by the Mariners to let him do that and let him retire as a Mariner. Let's hope now when he goes to Cooperstown, he ends up putting a Mariners jersey on. I hope he does. I'm sure that'll be pressure from the Yankees on that one, but I'm hoping he goes in I hope he goes in as a Mariner. I really do. Uh, just I just think it's so much cooler when a guy spends that many years at an organization and then he ends up leaving and then comes back and it's like, okay, guess what? I'm happy I was there. So we'll see what happens there. Don't forget, Red, White, and Blue Racing. I got in touch with um, Keith Avalon earlier. He had a stream of his own going on, and I told him that I had got to Red, White, and Blue Racing. Well, sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. As far as elected players, uh, this is the way I think it, Robbie. I think wherever you got the best numbers, if you've got 400 home runs with one team and 120 at the other team, I think wherever you got the biggest amount of success is where. And don't get me wrong, he had a lot of success in New York, but we'll see what happens there. And then when you start splitting it half and half down the middle, like Roy Halladay. Roy Halladay won a Cy Young, won a world championship in Philly, and now his family said, posthumously, he's not wearing a Toronto. Keith, he's got Play.com channel. Yes. Yes. Yep. Play.com has their own channel on YouTube. They do. And they have some things on there some nights when Steve Tower does not. And I got in touch with Keith tonight and told him about it. Yep. So you can check out some of their new stuff that they've got going on. I think so too. I agree. I think Ichiro should definitely be a Mariner. That's me. But he and his family, come time to being, inducted to the Hall of Fame, even if you oh, okay. Have you opened it up yet, Dave? I watched him play a game tonight of it. Oh, okay. That's always fun. That's always fun to do, especially in these skinny ass boxes. The first time I got one, I was like, what the hell is that? Then you open it up and it's like, oh my God. You got so much in just that little bitty box. They don't take a lot of space. I'll give them that. They don't take a lot of room up in your rooms, but it's a lot of stuff in them. They're pretty cool. They are pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going to try to get my baseball wheels going again. I'll be flying solo for the next few days, so might be able to do some things myself, just by myself. Wife's gonna be out of town, and she's gonna be doing her thing. Uh, but I'm gonna try to get some of these races going this week. I'm really looking forward to that, and we got a little over a day and a half left of signings. We have 18 or 19 cars right now, so we will see what happens there. Anybody? She's going to bed right now. She went in there, laid down. I hear her watching TV, and I think I'm going to go join in just a minute myself. I got to get me some water. I'm all stopped up and clogged up. Um, but I hope you guys catch me next Tuesday night on ID Jester's channel. Um, It's going to be a few of us on there as guests. And you guys, this weekend, I'm going to try to get a wrestling video off if I can. I'm going to try to get about 2 or 3 Red Sox games. They still got 3 more with the Angels. They got the hell beat out of them the other night. What was it? 13-7. They got beat up bad. So they're 8-8 right now on my thing. I may try to get a race. I don't know, off Sunday. I would love to, and let's see how things go. 50, it looks like maybe 15 race schedule is what we're looking at, and I will preview and show all the rules for the season prior to us doing it. That way, there's not like, well, is Rob going to come up with this rule? No, no, no. I'm going to write up all the rules prior. It looks like we're going to go with 1980s point systems. We're not going to have a playoff because there's only 18 of us anyway, 19 of us anyway. And I think maybe during the rookie season, we will not bump any qualities up during the season. Can you send me all the traits people can choose from for a car for my plug for you? Yes. You got a piece of paper. It is heat. Help me out, guys. Control. Heat control. Skill. Star. Control, skill, star, heat. Oh, damn. Reflex. Oh, my gosh. Robbie puts me on the spot. He puts me on the spot. I don't have a race game right here. Reflex, control, skill, star, heat. No one starts with it's another S. What the hell is it? Let me go look. I'll be right back. Okay. Reflex, control, skill, star, smart, and heat. They're going to have a letter C. Yeah, I always got Bobby. I always like to have Bobby Allison's. He's got all 6. We won't have a cup right there. We'll just have letter C, fast pit of, and escape can add up to 12. That's what you're going to get in three gas pedals. That's what you're going to get. And then I'm going to get them all printed off Saturday. I got my jump drive in there all ready for that. Oh, I had them right here written in front of me. Friggin' believe that. It's been a long day. Been a long day. We got some rain today. I needed it. Everybody in my family cussed it. They were like, "Oh, there's rain." I wanted it because I needed it for my grass seed. Any questions by anybody? And can you see where I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing? Or sorry, I had to get a snack. Hey, man, get a snack all night long. Are you kidding me? Can you guys think of anything? I think we're going to mostly have 15 turn races. So it's going to be short races. Okay. Every time we pit, we're going to pit with all of them. Yeah. I forgot to even ask Dave if he got the 20, a brand new set. Was it 2019? 2019 set. Red, white, and blue racing. It has duels on it at times. Not so much fights. During qualifying, you can say that you had. Oh, he's gonna make his own set. That's cool. Not so much fights. No, it really doesn't. Have you ever seen one of my races, Ken? Not you don't see so much, but you do see a lot of guys. Driver uses the tombstone pop driver. Plenty of homebrews out there, yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. I'm gonna do a few changes, and I'm definitely gonna be open. They have feuds, yes. Occasionally there can be a fight, but it's buried pretty deep in the rare events chart. Yeah, that's what I think too, and that's why this is what I've been thinking about doing with 18 drivers. 18 drivers. The first 7 is a top group. Then you've got 8 through 19 if you got 19 drivers in the middle group. What if we did 1, 2, and 3 for the top group, 4, 5, and 6 for the back group? And when we pit, don't even roll except for roll doubles to see if anybody has a pit penalty. Only a pit penalty. But start right back at 17 and pit everybody. Just pit everybody, just like you're having a late model race, and be like, okay, if you go out here and get a bad pit stop, you may fall from 5th to 17th. I mean, yeah, I like that idea too. Pit everybody, and then if you're at the very back, and look, let's say Dave, let's say you decide, uh, let's say you decide to have 10 on your pit quality, but 2 on your escape. Chances you having a good pit stop's really good. But if we have a problem out there or trouble out there, with that 2 you've got, there's a damn good chance you're going back to the back of the pack. So that's why I left it to everybody with those 12 points. Weeble wobble it. Okay, decide what you want yourself. That way you don't come back to me and say, well, Rob, you told me that, if I pitted well, I'd probably be up front. No. I'll let you pick what you want, and I pick what I want, and everybody's getting a fast pit gives you a performance chip. Yes. Yes, exactly right. There's no doubt about that. But if you only have one fast pit in a race and you have 4 or 5 troubles during the race, that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you at all. Plus, you can lose a chip every time somebody tries to pass you. So think about that too. You can lose chips all sorts of ways. If you're trying to move up and you don't get within the range or whatever, it costs you a chip just to pass. A chip is great, but you gotta kind of decide. Okay, personally, I like to stay out of the trouble, and I'm hoping my car get me up front. That's what I'm doing. But I know a lot of people like those chips. I don't count on them because I don't count on always getting them. But yeah, I think that's why it's so fun. Everybody has a different mindset. If we all went out there with the mindset of we're just gonna stroll in the back, we're gonna sit back in the back, have a game leader. Oh, chips. Can we play poker with him? I don't know if you saw my. Oh, you like my late night chats, huh? That's pretty cool. Well, I tell you what. we can do this some. We can do this some, especially next week. Like I say, I'm going to be supplying solo some next week. So this is cool. This is really cool. Um, if anybody's on Discord, you can always catch me at Discord. I'm on there sometimes, and I'm on this other thing. What the hell did ID Jester get me signed up for here? Google Hangout. Has anybody ever seen a Google Hangout? So that actually, you actually talking to each other, uh, so actually talking to each other in each other's living room. So that's pretty cool. So I enjoy it. Um, but let's see how this baseball season turns out. I think it's going to be one to be remembered. Oh, they've lost a stream. Is the stream working, guys, or is it not working? Probably done fell off the earth here. I'm in here talking to myself. Me and the cat in the hat. We're the only two here. Me and my end it is. Okay, good. Good. Yeah. Um I'm gonna pick, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna pick 15 short tracks. And we're gonna go 15 laps of each one of them. 15 different tracks. I'm not even gonna look at where each thing is. Everybody's here. That's cool. Dave back though? He's back. But I'm going to make sure every racetrack has at least one trouble on it. I'd like a problem and a trouble. Um, but we need at least one trouble on every track. If some of them have two, that'll be fine. But we're only going to race each track one time, not over once. We're not going to race over one time anywhere. And I think I may be, I maybe have met my limit on my YouTube guys. I probably have. They probably saying it's time to cut it the hell off here, Rob. All right, I tell you what, I will then. Um, yeah, I try to avoid trouble at all costs, especially in red, white, and blue racing, and anywhere else too, I guess. So you folks have a great evening. Don't forget, baseball starts this weekend on Sunday night. I think the Reds play Monday day baseball, Sunday day baseball. I forgot. Sunday night game. I'm pretty sure there is one. Phillies will start with the Braves the 28th. And the Red Sox, they start with the Mariners the 29th, I think. 28th. So you folks have a great evening. If you know somebody else that's interested in getting a car in our league, get in touch with them and just tell them, look, you better do it quick. Rob's going to have his cars printed out probably on Saturday. But if you do get in touch with me as late as Saturday evening, I'll get you in if I can. Okay, but 19, 20 cars, that is cool with me. I think we're good. I really think we're good. My wife, she says she's going to win while she's up in out of town. So we'll see. She's already bragging to me about going to win all the time. So she is lucky as hell. So she probably will. You folks have a great evening. Angels versus Red Sox coming up tomorrow. I'm going to get at least one game of that off. Face to the mat. I'm going to get some more of that going on as well. Have a great evening. I got to go drink me some water before I dry out. And thanks Ken, thanks Robbie, thanks Dave, thanks Sports Time Machine, thanks to all you guys and anybody else coming to watch it at a later time. Thank you folks too. Give me the thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.